Patreon going strong. If you want to go over there and join in on the fun, we got 3 tiers on Canadian dollars. First tier is $3 a month, where you get these episodes ad free. You also get AMAs once a month, or learn about me episodes once a month. And then on the second tier, which is $5 a month, you get everything from the first tier, as well as coverage of a reality show of yesteryear. That's right now Jersey Shore, currently in season 3. You can also go to the main feed, where there will be the first episode of every season released there, so you can try that before you head over to the Patreon. And then on the third tier, you get everything from the first 2 tiers, as well as coverage from a true crime documentary. We got the backlog of Ashley Madison documentary, Man with 1,000 Kids, Into the Fire, Lacey Peterson, and again, all those episodes for the first episode of each is in the main feed, so you can try that before you head over. So if you are interested, you can head over to patreon.com/realityt times 2, and you can sign up for whichever tier you feel for. Again, you can try before you buy, which basically means you can try any tier for a week before committing to it. Even if you are on if you are on tier 1 or the first tier and you want to go over to the second tier, you could still try that second tier for a week before committing to the upgrade. So again, that is at patreon.com/realityt times 2. And of course, the link is in the show notes, website, social media accounts. It's all available there. This episode is ad-free on the Patreon. So if you want to partake in that, you can head on over to patreon.com/realityt times 2. Welcome to Reality Tea Times 2, the podcast where we discuss all the trash reality TV we love to hate. I'm Tanika, and today we're going to be finally selling the OC. So we're going to be doing this for a little bit till we finish it. I think we're only going to be doing 4 episodes, and then doubling up. So let's just jump into the reason that we're here. So episode 1, why was Gio hot to me? Do I need to rethink life? I think so. Alex shows up at this house and she says, "I'm happy to say that I am the last Alex standing," because the other 2 are gone. We meet Fiona Bell. She's 23. Very young. She's actually from the OC, and she's our new agent. Well, one of them. We have 2 others to go through. She's been in the game for only 2 years, but she seems confident in what she has to offer. Good for her. Yay, I like her. We meet Ashton, spelled AshYton, because she's a girl. She's pregnant, 4 months along. She used to be a part of the San Diego office, so she's moving up to the OC. Then we meet Kaylee, and she is 35. She's no nonsense. She's been doing real estate for 13 years. She started with Coachella. She doesn't want to deal with the petty shit, so she is no nonsense. For fuck's sakes, go to therapy, and I thought that was funny. There's so many people who need to go to therapy, especially in these shows. Anyways, let's do a team meeting, because that's what we do here. One of the new girls, I think it was Fiona, she has a porn star client who's looking for a house. Gio actually has a property that he's trying to sell, and she thinks that maybe this property would be a good fit for this porn star client. Gio, on the other hand, who pretends that he's never seen porn before, is like, well, the OC, it's a little bit conservative, is it? Okay. She says, well, I don't give a shit. Neither does she. Gio has a property as a decided that she might be interested in. Oh, I don't know. There's an older crew there. Again, none of them have seen porn before. Anyways, um, she's like, is it the fact that there's an older crowd here, or is it or is it because of, you know, she's a porn star? Like the reason for that, is it because she's a porn star, or is it specs? Like what's the issue here? But basically trying to call him out on his shit here, which I think is great. Porn stars need somewhere to live too. She has a family. So like whatever. A job's a job. And she's doing what I think she loves. It's fine. Oh, looky, looky, y'all. Look who's here. It's none other than Tyler. Austin is meeting up with him, and we kind of get this idea that Tyler has kind of kept to himself the last little bit. For the last 18 months, let's be real here. It's been a while. He's kind of not spoken to anyone. So Tyler essentially cut everyone out from the O group when he left, which is a little weird. We knew he left. Like, that wasn't news. Like, when we saw last season, we knew he was going to be leaving. But we didn't know that he was, like, cutting people out of his life. He does say that he didn't realize how affected he was by his marriage ending. Okay. Fair. I get it. It's legitimate. But really? Um, and that maybe the stuff with Alex was a factor for him leaving. Stuff with Alex. More on that in a little bit. So Polly and Alex are meeting up, and Polly does tell Alex that she met up with Tyler the other day. And, they just kind of met for business, no big deal. And he's the one that actually reached out to Polly, not the other way around. Alex is clearly uncomfortable and upset about this. She's like, oh, he reached out to you. Oh, you, this. And you're like, what's the problem here? You know what I mean? Because they were close. I'll kind of get into the backstory with them in case you've never seen the other seasons. But she says like he shut her out, and she thinks that Polly is being insensitive, bringing up this topic. What's going on? Clearly, something happened more so than he left the O group. She uses the word bamboozled. What the heck happened? But she's over this conversation. She doesn't want to talk about Tyler anymore. Yeah. She says the word, no one gets it. What does no one get? Like, what? What is going on? So now we're in the office. And Ashton asks, like, what happened with Tyler and Hall? Like, she's the new girl. She doesn't know. She does know about Tyler, but like, what happened? And no one really knows. Like, Brandy's like, oh, I don't fucking know. No one really knows what's going on. And no one seems to want to ask either. I think they're just kind of keeping their distance. But we find out from Ashton, somehow she found out this information. So I'm taking it with a grain of salt at this point. That will change. Apparently, Tyler had a secret girlfriend on the side. So I'm thinking, well, when did this side girlfriend happen? Did the side girlfriend happen while he was still with Brittany Snow? Did this happen since, like, he's been, like, with Alex? Like, what is going on? And Brandy does say to her, be careful. Because, like, you're finding out information about her. People can find out information about you the same way, too. But what I think she's missing here is Alex is gonna fuck you up. So maybe we just don't. But yeah, we're gonna get a little bit more into that. This was a little quicker this first episode because we're kind of just setting the scene. So we're just gonna take a quick break here, and when we come back, we'll jump in with episode 2. Hi everyone. So I have a new product for you to partake in. One that I'm going to share with you, and that is Be Believe. So, Be Believe in the power of playful learning. So, Dive into the world of wonder with Be Believe's rich collection of animations, catchy songs, playful coloring pages, hands-on activity sheets, and engaging ebooks. Each element is thoughtfully crafted to captivate young minds while reinforcing positive behaviors in a fun and meaningful way. Whether your little one is watching a magical adventure, singing along, coloring their favorite character, or reading an enchanting tale, every moment is packed with joy, learning, and imagination. So if you go to our unique code, or link, in order to not only support Be Believe, but also support the podcast, you can head to be-believe.com/reality2. So that's www.believe.com/reality2. So that is REALITEATWO. And the link is also in the show notes, where you can also link to that. So head on over to Be Believe with our unique code link, and you can unleash good behavior through enchanting tales, where imagination and good behavior unite. Thank you, Be Believe, for supporting this podcast. Now, back to the show. And I'm back. So let's jump in with episode 2. So we're at this house. It's called Cypress. This is a house actually that Jason bought as an investment property, and now he's ready to sell it. This is the only reason I'm bringing this up, because we normally don't talk about the real estate. It's not why we're here. But he wants to sell this property for $15 million. And he wants, obviously, one of the agents to be the one to do it. Clearly, we're going to have a healthy competition of who that is going to be. The downside of this place is it's right beside an airport, and you can hear like planes going by, like clearly it's like right under a flight path. So that's the downside here. But clearly everyone is still going to fight for this. They want the commission, the whole bit. And the funny thing, actually, I think it was in this episode, Jason does talk about the fact that he wants to increase what he gets from the agents at the OC office in order to maintain the office there, which is interesting because we kind of know already from Bree, who kind of let the cat out of the bag about like how much a percentage of each person's commission that they get, which is like the highest amount of most other places. I think it's like 40, I think it was. So if they want to increase that even more, Jesus. Anyways, so Ashton and Alex are at a house, and Ashton tells her, so while you were with Tyler, like I heard this from somebody, while you were with Tyler, he had a secret girlfriend. Like, I don't know if you know that. And Alex was like, yeah, I did know this. And then she said like it made everything make sense for her in terms of Tyler. So this is kind of the confirmation, okay, so this is true. And this was while he was with Alex. And we kind of knew that something was kind of happening with Tyler. I'm not sure if that ever made it past the show, like if any like drama, or not drama, but gossip was coming out about this. But we kind of knew that something was going on between her and Tyler. Yeah, her and Tyler. But to find out that he had a secret girlfriend is fucked. And I think it really adds a layer to the first season when people would make comments about the fact that, oh, it looks like Alex is a little bit inappropriate with Tyler, because when he was still married, because he was still married, or I should say with Brittany Snow, in the first season. And it kind of just makes things interesting. I'm going to add a little extra layer to that, though, a little later. So she says that he would act weird, and he said that it was about his ex-wife. He didn't want to, because like if they would go out, his head would be on a swivel. And he was saying it's about Brittany Snow. He just didn't want to be caught with her, I guess. I don't know if they were still legally married, but again, if you're separated, you're separated. You know what I mean? So it seems weird that he would worry about whether or not Brittany Snow is seeing him. Yeah, that would have been a red flag for me. So when he left the O group, he did cut everyone out, as we know. But clearly they are broken up because here he is again. Like him and the other girl. Because here he is again. She says she didn't know others knew though. So she's then asking Ashton, like, who else knows? Like, who else did you say this to? And she says, well, the girls. Like, she told everybody. Brandy, Fiona, Kaylee, everybody knows. Um, and so, yeah, everyone clearly knows that this is something that she heard. And Alex has a problem with that. She doesn't really want people in her business. She wants business to be business, personal to be personal. She doesn't want to mix those two things up. So, so she's a little bit upset at the fact that she's talking about it. And she's like, I know, I wish you would just come to me instead of talking to the other girls. So this is already putting a bad taste in her mouth. Anyways, moving past that. So we are showing Riley, who is the porn star client, the house that Gio has listed. But this house is outside of her budget. And it also doesn't have, some of the things that she's looking for, example, a yard, because they do have a child. So my question then is, why are we here? Because her budget was 3 to 6 million. This house is 9. Why are we here? That's way above her budget. Even if you wanted to be like, I'm going to offer this, you're probably not going to offer more than maybe 6.5, if your limit is 6. And that's probably not going to do it. Maybe the lowest you can go is maybe 250 under asking. What are you going to do? What are we doing here? And then it also doesn't have the yard. So again, I question, what are we doing here? Fiona, girl, you're not showing you can do this job. Anyway, um, and at the end, a group of boys just gather around because they see her and they're like, we're big fans. Can we have an autograph? Or can we take a picture with you? Like, whatever. And I'm like, okay, so you're taking a picture with this porn star. Whatever. It's like all teenage boys, by the way. This was such a producer plot. Anyways, they take a picture with her, which fine, whatever, no problem. Are you gonna post that to your social media and be like, we met Riley, whatever her porn name is? And I'm assuming you're gonna have family on your thing and we're like, oh, who is this person? And then they Google her and they're like, oh my God. You know what I mean? Like, are you what's the end goal of putting this person taking a picture with her? Which whatever, porn stars are stars in their own right. They do have a fan base, nothing wrong with that. But I just question, what are you gonna do with that once you do it? Anyways, so we had a girl hang out with Polly, Alex, Ashton, and I said it was Fiona, but it was actually Kaylee, 'cause I'm still learning names here. Then Tyler is brought up. And Ashton says, as a friend, like, who wants Tyler? Because here's what happened. She has a friend who she was hanging out with. They see Tyler. This friend sees Tyler. And she's like, oh, Tyler's hot. I want that. And I mean, Tyler is hot. Who wouldn't want that? But Ashton says to her, oh, but he did this and he did that. Like, he's a bad guy. And she's like, I don't care. I don't want him. She's not saying she wants a relationship with him. She's saying, I want to fuck, which is valid. But she's saying this in front of Alex after they just had a conversation about it. Why are you bringing this up? Why are you bringing up Tyler again? Like, I feel like you actually want to, either you really love talking about people and shit and whatever, or you're trying to hurt Alex. Which is it? I don't trust her. So Alex is just questioning, as I just did, why Tyler is being brought up again. We had this conversation. What the hell? You know what I mean? I'll say right now, I don't trust her. I don't. I don't trust her. I don't like her. I think she needs to focus on herself. She's pregnant. She's about to be a mother. Focus on that instead of focusing on other people's dramas. I like Fiona so far. I like Kaylee. I like them. So no, nothing to say about that. I do think Fiona is very green, but I do like her as a person. But otherwise, that's it, y'all. That's that's the first episode. It's very quick because, yeah, because these shows are pretty quick. But we'll be back with another one. I am behind here, but we'll be back with another one. We'll do our best. I will just say, just the preface, the next week is going to be tougher because I'm actually on vacation. So because I'm on vacation, it might be harder for me to get episodes posted or whatever. But don't worry, we will get them done. Somehow, some way, we will get them done. But yes, and you will be still getting the 90-day episode soon as well. As I'm trying to get through my notes here. Go in order if it's to come. And then we will hopefully also be doing the B90 one that is still coming. The only thing is it may not come until next week or on the weekend. We'll see. So just wanted to say that part. But other than that, y'all, that is it for me. And that is it for this episode. If you liked what you heard, bear with me because I have not done an outro for this, for the podcast in quite some time. So bear with me here. So if you liked what you heard, you can go to any of your favorite podcast apps. You can like, follow, make sure you don't miss a single episode. And you can also rate the podcast at either Apple Podcasts or Spotify. It'd be greatly appreciated. As a reminder, any 5-star ratings that are given to the podcast or any comments that are given to the podcast will be read on the podcast, which I have done in the past. If you want to connect with the podcast through social media, you can find me at Facebook and Instagram at Reality T times 2. You can also find me at Twitter, TikTok, and Blue Sky at Reality times 2 pod. I believe you can email me at realityt times 2 at hotmail.com, and you can have any inquiries, anything like that, any ideas, any shows or episodes you want me to cover, you can definitely do that over there. And I am going back to our old website, and that is at solo.to/reality t times 2. There you can get any of the links to anything that I didn't mention here, any of the socials, website, email, all of that. It's all there for you. And we also have a new thing there where you can help support the podcast as well. It's called a tip jar. And you can tip whatever your heart's desire if you want to support the podcast, but don't want to necessarily support the podcast in going to Patreon, for example, or any of the links in any of the advertisements. You can do it there. But since we're on the topic of Patreon, you can head on over to patreon.com/reality t times 2, where there you can get access to even more than what I do here. There are 3 different tiers where you can get these shows ad free, as well as our next tier up where you would get another reality show that's being covered. So, we have Jersey Shore that's been getting covered. That's still being covered currently at the time of recording of this outro, but the future is bright with what's to come in the future, which I will be discussing, or I have discussed. I don't even know. And then also our next tier is a true crime tier as well. So you can definitely head over for that. But that is basically it. I will also just quickly mention here too, if you're interested in a different take of a podcast that I'm a part of, we do things a little differently, you can head on over to Next Take Podcast, where I usually drop bonus episodes here on this feed, but there you get a lot more. And that podcast is making changes, we're growing, doing new things. But you can definitely head on over there if you want to just hear a little bit different than what I do over here. So you can find that podcast over at our website, solo.to/next take podcast. And there we'll have all the links to your desire that will link you to any of your favorite podcast apps or YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all of it. Social medias, it's all over there. But of course, you can still find that podcast at any of your favorite podcast apps. But that is it for this episode. We'll see you next time with another episode. Bye, everybody.